Hey traders, what's happening? Jamie Setley here. It is July 10th, 2020. Happy Friday to you. Heading into the weekend, pretty slow day in FX. Really, it's been slow for a while. Um, we've had pretty tight ranges after that big burst of volatility that we had when COVID kind of took off. But Australian dollar is doing something pretty interesting today. So first, we're going to look at a very long-term chart. This is a chart of Aussie from, notice the 2011 high. All right, we have a channel here, and that channel is, nailed the low back here in March. Um, and then something interesting happened here back in early June, right? We took out that high from December. It's actually interesting if you look at copper. Copper has finally taken out that high, that equivalent high. Anyway, my point being is that we traded into a big level. We reversed sharply, and for the last, 4 weeks, we really haven't done much of anything. In fact, if you look at this week's range, I mean, it's pretty small, right? Um, so first, just know that we've traded into an important price level, right? High here, got this resistance here, former support back here. So this has been a big spot for a while. Now, I will add that if we do trade out of the top of this range, which is not my base case, and you'll see why in just a moment, that you'd probably be looking up towards the 72 area and maybe just above that, because that would be where your upper channel line would be. All right. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at an hourly chart. This is Aussie from the March low. And what this is not a channel. This is well, it's a type of channel, but it's not your just connect the lows, connect the highs channel. This is what we call a shift fork. Okay. I've done webinars and whatnot on, um, various types of pitchforks and how to, employ median analysis, but not going to get so much into that here. Just understand that this angle defines price, action, defines trend extremely well. Just look at, if we zoom in a bit, you can just see that. I mean, the center line or the median line of this channel was pretty important as resistance here, 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 support here for the takeoff. Okay, even back here, you had some good action around that center line. Now, the real important action has occurred here just over the last couple of days and weeks. But notice this line here, this gray line. This is what we call the 25 line, okay? Because it's 25% of the way up through the channel. So that line was pretty good support here, close here. It's been just absolutely precise resistance though, really since like June 25th, okay? And then look what happened yesterday. Yesterday, we traded up into this level here. This is actually, this bold line is actually the close of the day of the high day, right? Which would have been back on June 10th. You'll find that that's often, support or resistance, at least temporarily, and sometimes it can be really important. Anyway, what happened here is that we failed to get back up to that level, right? If you were to think about this on just a regular, most people probably look at markets from a horizontal perspective. What I mean by that is like you have your resistance, your support, and the market goes like this, right? Market's bouncing between support and resistance. And eventually it doesn't make it down to the final support. It's making a higher low, right? And then it breaks out to the upside, right? Because it's a show of strength in that particular market, right? Well, it's very similar in concept or in logic with median line analysis, which is really just support and resistance on an angle, which really is how markets move a lot of the time. Okay, yes, we've been in a sideways box here, so to speak, but look at, where the support resistance has come in. The resistance notably has been on this angle. Well, the failure to make it to that level, okay, even though it's on the horizontal level, is an indication of a weakening trend, weakening momentum. We call that a space or a gap. I don't like to call it a gap because traders know gaps is something entirely different. But what it warns is it warns of a eventual change in behavior, right? And we actually got that last night. So last night we had a drop below the lower parallel, okay? Then this morning during US trading, we had a retest of that lower parallel, okay? This is a great short opportunity. So one, we had noted the long-term level that we traded into that on that weekly chart. Two, we zoomed in to this hourly chart and we have this extremely well-defined structure. Three, the market made an attempt, right, at resistance, but failed to get back to the level that had been resistance for so long and ended up turning over, right? Four, we actually found resistance on old support. So this sets up a great short opportunity. Your stop for all, just to be safe, probably should be up here. I mean, that's how I would do it. If you put it right here, there's a chance that you're going to get nicked out. I mean, the market could just do this, and screw around for a while. But your target for this is going to be one, if you take an extension of this channel and extend it down, that's where you're looking towards. Interestingly enough, in a little less than a week, that actually intersects a huge level. I'm going to go to a 4-hour chart here. You can see that magenta line. It's going to cross the major lows back from 2019, major high, and even recent resistance and the breakout in late May and June. So if we want to take it a step further and get more ridiculous and go to a very short-term chart, then what we'll do is look at this chart here and look at if you're looking at Elliott wave or you're familiar with Elliott wave, you know that 5 waves in one direction, right, often indicate a trend change or at least a trading opportunity. Well, guess what? We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. We even got a 3 up. Of course, corrections can take on many different forms and get very complicated. And you could have an ABC and ABC and then go back up here somewhere. So that's why also you want to stop probably up here. But point being is that you've got an opportunity in Aussie right smack dab now. Okay, so that's it. So we looked at a lot of different methods of analysis there. We looked at simple horizontal support resistance. We looked at median line analysis, specifically shift fork, some intricacies of median line analysis. In other words, the space that we talked about here, former support becoming resistance, all that stuff, the whole channel extension concept, and a little bit of Elliott wave. So that's it. Hope you enjoy your weekend and good luck, especially if you're trading Aussie like I am. All right, take care. Bye.